Hello everyone, and here we are now doing our special review on every class. As we always do, once all the cards are revealed from all the classes, we are doing our class predictions. We're gonna see what will change for every class, and we're gonna make a tier list on my expectations on which are the classes you shall play and which are the classes that gonna be the bottom tier of the set. First class, we take a look at Druid. So Druid already being probably one of the best classes in the game. It being a strong class. What are we getting for the Druid? We get a legendary which has a little bit of a unique effect that doesn't fit in current Druid decks, but is an alright card. We have a strong weapon that I think is a pretty good weapon. We gain some decent armor cards. We gain I think the Pets is already a decent card to fit in your current maybe Jade or also even big Druid decks. We have a really strong extra ramp card, what is comparable to the Mage Keeper, but as long as Ultimate Infestation is around, a lot of decks are happy with the Greedy Sprite. We have the Oaken Summoners, what I think is one of the best revealed cards. Recruit a minion that costs 4 and you gain 6 armor. I mean, you summon one of the 4 drops, whatever you want, and you gain 6 armor is really insane. Druid is getting, I'm a little bit worried about the Grizzled Guardian. That card is maybe not so good. Maybe the Barkswing, it has a hard time finding in, but this is a good card. The Golem is fine, the Sprite is nice. Astro Tiger is not gonna find so much play. Pets is nice, Twitch of the World Tree is gonna be a good fit in. And yeah, the Legendary I have a little bit hard time rating. But considering Druid is already a top tier class, I think with an additional mana, with an additional ramp card, with additional, with some decent recruit mechanic, but also some more flexible way of, gaining armor, drawing cards. I think Druid will stay at this tier. Maybe it's not gonna be as strong as tier 1, but my prediction is that a Druid will be a tier 1 class. Next up, Hunter. So, Hunter has been a class that has been finding a really hard time the last 2 expansions. Let's take a look on what Hunter is getting. So there are 2 cards in this set, what includes the legendary weapon and to my side, that actually wants to make a spell Hunter work. Both decks require a Hunter to not make any extra, like both are requiring to make your deck a spell hunter, and I don't see the spell hunter working yet. Yes, there is Flanking Strike, and I think Flanking Strike is the best card revealed for Hunter, giving Hunter a more Jade Lightning effect of a spell. It is definitely something that Hunter needs. It is a card that you will see in every mid-range Hunter deck, but I am not on the train where I think that a spell hunter deck can work. Play 28 spells and 2 weapons or something. It's just, there are just not enough good spells. The benefit of these 2 cards, of having a 6 mana 2 animal companions or getting some random hunter spells, is not a win condition that makes the archetype good enough. So I don't think that these 2 cards are finding any play. Crushing Valve is a pretty meh removal card. Katarina is a nice card, but can we really make a big hunter deck work? It has my questions. We got some decent wolf card. It's a pretty decent value card. So the Spellstone from the Hunter is one of the better Spellstones. The Seedling Oozling is a little bit of a worse high main, so I don't think you play this. Maybe the Secret can find some play in Secrets. As I said, Flame Strike is good. These 2, the Candle Shot, I don't like it. And Cave Hydra will be a decent all-around card, but probably maybe not an inclusion. Maybe it will, but doesn't make the power level much better. I'm really worried about Hunter. I don't think Hunter is getting there. Hunter will include Flanking Strike in a lot of their decks. Maybe Katarina can see here and there play in the Secret too. But it's not gonna make Hunter strong enough. And I have to disappoint Rexxar, but Rexxar is gonna hunt alone. And it will be a tier 3 class. Sorry Rexxar, you hunt alone. Mage. Mage, always one of the harder classes to value, because of the strong class set being the cards that are so much with random mage effects. I have a hard time really rating the mage. Like, as you see, there are a lot of extra There will be an archetype that definitely has a power level of, like, with a lot of random spells. Elena might be finding play because it has a strong effect, and there are a lot of 5 mana spells now. I have a little bit question on how good cards like this weapon is. Maybe this weapon can't find play, it's just so honorable to weapon hate. Raven is like, nyeh. 2 decent elementals getting in the game for more control archetype. Some decent spells, but I really have my questions. Like, it's really about Mage being a decent tier now. The secret might be in making a tempo Mage a little bit better. It looks like tempo Mage is like maybe a thing. I don't like the spellstone. It's one of the worst spellstones. Like, you will still have quest Mage around. So yeah, this manipulator is a really good card. You will see it play. I am not doing my review on the class review on Arena, because I think in Arena Mage is still in a really good tier. I don't think Mage is in that of a good tier in Constructed necessarily. I think Mage is always going to be a class to just run around because it has a pretty good control set. It has ice blocks. You have the Exodia Mage. So Mage will just be there. But it's really because of the strong class set that I rated in tier 2. Because if I look at the last 3 sets, what cards it gained, it would have been in tier 3 class, I think. But the Mage just still has a really, like, the Fireballs, the Frostbolt, the Mana Worms, the Ice Blocks. It will make Mage just fine. And Mage will just be a tier 2 class. Paladin. So Paladin already being pretty good around. With a Murloc Paladin archetype, not with necessarily Control Paladin. Control Paladin is a good archetype. It shall not be underlooked at how little it is away from being just a super strong class. And the more cards that normally come into the game, the better Paladin becomes. Crystal Lion is a card I love a lot with like buffing Silver Hand recruits. We have the level up helping too with that. Cult of Arms is a good card. I am not on the Linessa hype train, but maybe it can be worked. Funneler is a good value card, but there are so many weapons in Paladin. Elemental Paladin, I don't know if it gains enough. I think the potion of this potion is a pretty good card. Give a minion Divine Shield, draw a card. It's a nice card actually. And maybe this Jailor with like adding 3 Silver Hand recruits to your hand can make card like the Crystalline really good. Overall, I think Paladin gained not much at all. It is one of the cards that maybe stacks really well with neutrals. I am worried, and I don't think Paladin is gonna be that great. I will rate Paladin higher than Hunter. Maybe like Hunter is just really bottom tier. Maybe I will rate Hunter tier 4 and then I rate Paladin tier 3 if I can make like 4 tier list, because I feel it is it has still good potential and it will be in a control meta being around. Yeah, but I don't feel the hand buff Paladin still. So I would rate it between Mage and Hunter, so tier 3. Let's say it like that. Priest. Well, I don't know if we have to talk much about Priest, because, well, the Highlander Priest already being a tier 1 deck, and oh my god, what is Priest gaining again, guys? Maybe the dragon is gonna be not... It's a really cool combo dragon, but I have a little bit questions. Actually, the weapon of the Priest, I think, is one of the best weapons. After you cast 3 spells in a turn, I mean, play 3 cheap spells and you summon a 5/5 with it. Wow. Priest is getting one of the best removals in the game. Psychic Scream, shuffle all minions into your opponent's deck. Like, it's even like some people think it actually is negative, or it is negative that you put it in your opponent's deck, but no, it will be negative if you put it in your own deck. Like putting tokens in your opponent's deck, it being even a big counter to some like spreading plagues, to some living manas and what more. Really good card. Twilight Acolyte, really good card. Dustbreaker, immense good card, super good card. Spellstone, I think is also a really good card. I think it's one of the best spellstones in the game. Priest, wow, just wow again. Dragon Priest will be there. Priest will get multiple archetypes. I'm not sure how the weapon will do, but it will maybe be fine. Because I think it's a really good weapon, and I think the Spellstone is good too, so I'm not sure how these are gonna fit. But Highlander Priest will still be a tier 1 deck, and my expectation is that Dragon Priest is a tier 1 deck again, as long as Dragonhead Operative is still around. So, Priest tier 1. Priest tier 1, but hail all the priests. Rogue. So, Rogue getting actually some nice additions, and I'm kind of happy for Rogue that we are getting away of this random Rogue cards from opponents' classes. Rogue gets 3 secrets. I am not on the big hype train of the secrets. Rogue getting a medium ice block, what is kind of cool. I actually like it. When a minion attacks you, instead it attacks its neighbors, is kind of decent. This secret is not so great. Not sure how these secrets are really valuing out. But we'll see. Really good 4-drops. Rogue is getting 2 really good 4-drops. So the 4-drops are getting in there for Rogue. I'm not sure if the Spellstone is good enough. I have my Warriors. I love the Kingsbane. Really nice card. Yeah, and the Elven Minstrel and the Valkyrie Strider are amazing. Sonya might find some play. Kind of like the effect a lot. So, yeah, I like Rogue. I think Rogue is always a class that's it's either hit or miss. And never underestimate Rogue, because Rogue always needs so little to become so good. I rate Rogue as tier 2. It's not on the Priest power level, but I am on the Rogue hype train a little bit. I think Rogue getting 4-drops, wow. That just straightly makes the deck going a tier up. And I rate Rogue tier 2. I think it is getting pretty good for Rogue. Shaman. So we have a new, actually the card I revealed with the Unstable Evolution that makes a new mechanic of evolution good. You have some really strong combos if you can hit maybe the reduce of the spell cost. I like the Brand Bronzebeard that gets in here for the Shaman. So that has potential. And maybe a Shaman, a Totem Shaman. There are quite a lot of spells that want a Totem Shaman to make happening. We got another good Elemental. So Elemental and Totems, that's the way for Shaman to go, I think. Maybe you can still play the Evolved Shaman, and then the Unstable Evolution is a decent fitter. Have my questions though. I don't feel there is too much power level maybe in the deck, but maybe a Totem Shaman can make it work. Weapon is decent. It's actually a decent weapon, because it can attack multiple times. So Shaman will be fine. I think it's tier 2, tier 3. And I think I make it then tier 3. But it's strong. It has multiple archetypes. So maybe Shaman is actually tier 2 because it has multiple archetypes that can make it work. Warlock. And guys, I am so hyped for Warlock. Warlock is... it has been my love from the start, and control Warlock, and I think this is the set of Warlock. I think if there's a class that gained the most out of all these control neutral cards, but also itself, it is Warlock. Warlock gaining Void Lord, sick card for Demon Warlock. Hooked Reaver, wow, 4 mana 4 mana 7/7 with taunt if you're low on life. Dealing the damage to your own hero, a taunt card. Kobold Librarian, Zulok, and Control Warlock, guys. And also Possessed Lackey. Don't underestimate this card. Great Spellstone also. Rin, yeah, well, whatever. That's not a good card, sure. But the weapon, like Warlock, I feel has 2 really bad cards, maybe 3 really bad cards, but the other cards are immensely good. So I feel Warlock, guys. I'm gonna take some ballsy shots. And I'm gonna put Warlock in tier 1. It's gonna be my tier 1 pick of the set. The surprise of the set. The surprise of Kobolds and Catacombs. Warlock. Zoo and Demon Lock. I think both. They can do it. And I'm gonna make some ballsy vote here. Warlock tier 1. Warrior. Decent legendary. Pretty good weapon. Probably the class with the strongest recruit mechanic. Some decent taunts, some decent armor cards. Like a decent armor card, a really good taunt, and decent armor card with taunt. Pretty interesting recruit mechanic. Pretty interesting recruit. Spend all your armor, deal that damage to all minions is really strong. I don't know if the Spellstone is that good, but and good weapon and a really nice legendary. So kind of like Warrior. I think it gained quite some decent stuff for control archetype. How good is Warrior gonna be? Warrior is the class with the recruit mechanic, man. I think it might become really strong, actually. It's tier 2 or 3 tier, guys. It's way stronger, guys. No, it's way stronger. If I have 4 tiers and I put the Warlock, Priest and Druid tier 1, I think it's tier 2. Is it better than Paladin? Maybe it's tier 3. It's really close there. Like, I have a little hard time on rating, will Shaman be better than Warrior or Warrior be better than Shaman? So let's think a little bit about the meta. Priest, Warrior, and Druid. How are they against the... I would say meta-wise it's a tier 3 deck. Because I think Priest is gonna... Like, the reason why Warrior never came out was because of the Highlander Priest. I think it's tier 3. I think it's tier 3. I'm gonna put it for now, I think, in tier 3. Hunter is... yeah, so... Summarize, how do we feel the meta will be, guys? There will be 3 classes that are gonna be my tier 1 picks. Druid, Priest, and Warlock. Then you have Hunter at tier 4. I think Hunter is really falling even more behind, I have to say. Warlock is the one going up. Mage will be fine because of the classic set, so I will put it in tier 2. I think Paladin is gonna be a tier 3 class. I think Rogue is tier 2. I think Shaman is tier 3. And then I have a little bit hard time rating the Warrior, but I think it will then be probably tier 3, more on that level, but have the potential to be tier 2. If I had to put like do it only in 3 classes, the tier list, I will put Warrior in tier 2 and then Hunter goes to tier 3. But yeah, that is my tier list, guys. As I said, just as we always do before the expansion, I hope you liked the review. I hope you liked my short, take a good look on the classes. And let's get excited for Kobolds and Catacombs.